Hi there, I'm Mary Ellen Phipps. I'm part of the Joy and Pep team. Some of you may recognize me from the January class that we did all about nutrition and oils. I'm the same person. I'm a registered dietitian and I own a company called Milk and Honey Nutrition. And one of the things that I get to do with my clients a lot is give cooking lessons, which I really love. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about cooking with essential oils. It's a really fun thing to do. It can really engage people in the kitchen, and it's just a really fun and exciting way to add new flavors to our foods. I do want to say that the way that we're going to talk about cooking with essential oils and the different oils to use, I'm only talking about Young Living essential oils because those are the only oils that we know to be safe to use in cooking because of the seed to seal process. We know that they're free of chemicals and pesticides, and we don't have to worry about that. We also know that we can look on the Young Living website and see that most of the oils that are considered safe for consumption will have what we call a GRAS label, generally regarded as safe, designation from the FDA, meaning they're safe to use in cooking. You can also look, I can show you on this box of Thieves samples. If you look on the back, it's going to have, see if I hold it up closer, can you see it? No? Okay, bear with me, this is my first time doing a video. There's a nutrition label on here that will be just like getting any sort of other supplement that will give you facts about what all is contained in it so you know that it's safe to consume. Let's see if I can get a better view there. See, nutrition facts, there we go. One other thing that I want to point out before we get started is that you may have seen the new Vitality line of essential oils. Now these are the same thing as their counterparts. So here I'm going to show you a bottle of lavender Vitality and a bottle of lavender. These are the exact same thing. You don't have to worry about, well, can I only use this one for cooking and taking as a supplement, and I can only use this one for making bath salts and making my house smell good. No, they're the exact same thing. They're just labeled a little bit differently. The FDA has certain regulations on how you can label essential oils. So your Vitality lavender is going to be labeled for dietary use, and your regular lavender is going to be labeled for topical and aromatic use. They're the exact same thing. Don't stress about which one you have to use. You can use them interchangeably. If anything, it gives you the option to only buy 5 milliliters or 15 milliliters. So you can choose what you want to do. Just something to make note of. You'll notice as I show you these different oils that some of mine are Vitality and some of mine are regular oils. And so as my supply has run out, I've decided to either buy the 5 milliliter size or the 15 milliliter size. So you can make your own decision and go from there. Why would we want to use essential oils in our recipes? We know that essential oils can add incredible flavor and incredible aromas. It can also help you save a little bit of money in terms of your spice cabinet or your citrus items that you buy at the grocery store. One thing I like to do is if a recipe calls for like lemon juice or lime rind or something like that, and I think, oh shoot, I don't have a lime at home, or I don't want to have to go buy that, all I have to do is whip out my lime essential oil and add a few drops in. I don't have to spend time zesting the rind or anything like that. I can add the flavors that way. I also like that it saves me a little bit of money because I don't have to stock up on different spices, like I'll show you rosemary here. I don't have to worry if I have fresh rosemary at home. I can just use the rosemary essential oil. So we know that spices do have usually around a year's shelf life, so if they're expired, I don't have to worry because I have my stock of essential oils at home and I don't have to worry about having fresh spices on hand. We're going to talk about a couple different areas of cooking with essential oils. We'll go through these real quickly. The first is citrus. I showed you the lime oil that I use, but citrus oils are really great for baking, especially, and for roasting vegetables. So one thing I want to show you is these lovely cranberry orange muffins. I'll show you the good side here. Conveniently, I made a whole batch of these to show for the video, but there's only one left a couple days later. Imagine that. That I use orange essential oil to make. You can add, depending on how much you want to taste the flavors, for that specific recipe I use about 8 drops, and you can see the recipe down below this video playing. I also use lemon to roast a lot of vegetables, lemon Brussels sprouts, lemon cauliflower, lemon asparagus. I've got the Brussels sprout recipe posted down below, so you'll be able to see that. I use about 2 to 3 drops per pound of vegetables, but that's because I like a real subtle flavor. If you want to be able to taste it a little bit more, you can maybe use more like 4 to 5 drops and see how you like the taste. The next category of cooking is going to be our herb oils. So these are things like rosemary, oregano, black pepper, things like that. For recipes that call for less than maybe a ½ teaspoon or so of an herb or spice, you can actually use what we call the toothpick method, where you take a toothpick and you dip it in your essential oil, and then you just swirl it around in your dish or your cooking oil that you're using. Some of my favorites to use, like I mentioned, are rosemary, black pepper, that's a good favorite, and Taste of Italy. A lot of people don't know about this one. It's basically a blend of oreganos. I believe there's a little bit of basil in there as well. So if a recipe is calling for oregano, you can definitely use your Taste of Italy. I will warn you, it's very, very potent, so you only need like 1 drop max. Another thing, if you have those little sample bottles that came in your starter kit, you can use those to get about a half-size drop of what you'd get from a normal essential oil bottle. Different recipes I've used with my herb type things are Italian roasted broccoli. I use the 3 oils I just showed you, rosemary, black pepper, and Taste of Italy. And I also do some baked sweet potato fries with a little bit of black pepper and some Taste of Italy. You can see those recipes down below. You can also infuse salts and your regular cooking oils with different essential oils. Just get yourself a little bottle that you'd put like olive oil or avocado oil in, and add a few drops of essential oils and shake and let it sit, and then you've basically got rosemary infused olive oil. You can also do that with salts like you would bath salts. Just get you a little jar. Add maybe, for this size jar, I add about 4 to 5 drops of essential oil. I like to use rosemary and have rosemary salt, so that when I add a little bit of sea salt to our food, you can flavor our food a little bit differently without having to add more drops of essential oil as well. I've already got my flavored salts. You can use sea salt, you can use Himalayan pink salt. I wouldn't use Epsom salt for something like this like you would bath salts, but definitely sea salt or Himalayan salt. The next one is one of my favorites, is fall spices. We've got clove, we've got thieves, we've got cinnamon bark, there's also ginger that you can use. We all know that thieves has a ton of amazing uses, but another thing you can use it for is replacing pumpkin pie spice in baking dishes and things like that. It's basically the same blend. You may want to add a little bit more cinnamon to it, but it can be a great resource. There's a link down below to what I call some overnight oats recipes. These are breakfast recipes, and one of them is a pumpkin pie overnight oats that you can put thieves in. That's going to taste really, really good. Another recipe I have that uses our cinnamon oil is avocado cookies. Anybody, if you've followed me on social media at all, you know I'm kind of obsessed with this recipe. I will use interchangeably if I have cinnamon on hand, and if I don't, I'll use my cinnamon oil. About 2 drops of cinnamon oil will replace the cinnamon in this recipe, and that's, again, down below this video. The last area we'll talk about is adding oils to our beverages. So you can add things like grapefruit, lemon, lime to your smoothies. You can also do like a little bit of like lavender lemonade, maybe lavender water. I don't know, something like that makes me feel super sophisticated, so maybe that's a fun drink when the kids are napping. The recipe ideas are really endless. You can really experiment. I always like to encourage people, it's only a failure in the kitchen if you deem it a failure. So if you want to have a little, don't just stick to these recipes I've given you today. Feel like you can experiment by all means. One of the last recipes I did want to tell you about that didn't really fit in those categories above is my peppermint. I love that in these chocolate peppermint energy bars. These are a no-bake, kind of like a homemade Lara bar if you're familiar with those. Some dates, some nuts, some coconut, chocolate, and a little bit of peppermint essential oil. So you don't have to buy the fake extracts at the store, you can use the real thing. A whole batch of those only needs 2 drops of peppermint. It's that strong. If you're looking for more recipe ideas and you're not really comfortable experimenting, feel free to check out my Facebook page and my Instagram account. I'll put the links down below. I'd love for you to take a look at them. We hope you will experiment a little bit more and try essential oils in the kitchen. and have a little bit more confidence doing that. For our giveaway question, in the comments below, tell us one recipe maybe that I showed you that you want to try, or maybe one idea you have another way you want to use in the kitchen. We'd love to hear, and we can always learn more things. So put those in the comments below, and we look forward to seeing what you have to say.